Why was the Voting Rights Act of 1965 needed for fair voting? Imagine a country where your right to vote is supposed to be guaranteed by the Constitution, but barriers keep many people from exercising that right. That was the reality for many Black Americans before the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Despite the 15th Amendment promising voting rights regardless of race, states in the South used unfair tactics to block Black voters. They used literacy tests, poll taxes, and intimidation to stop Black citizens from voting. Sometimes, violence was used to scare people away from trying. These tactics kept millions of Black Americans from participating in elections, which hurt democracy and civil rights. In the early 1960s, Black Americans and civil rights leaders started pushing back. They organized voter registration drives and peaceful marches. One of the most famous marches was in Selma, Alabama. During that march, police attacked peaceful protesters on what became known as Bloody Sunday. The violence caught national attention and made it clear that federal action was needed. People saw how unfair voting practices were stopping Black Americans from having a voice. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was created to fix these problems. It banned unfair practices like literacy tests and poll taxes that were used to keep Black voters away. It also required certain states with a history of discrimination to get approval from the federal government before changing voting laws. This process was called pre-clearance. The law also made sure voting materials were available in languages other than English in areas with many language minorities. Federal examiners and observers could be sent to monitor elections and stop intimidation. After the law was passed, Black voter registration and participation increased a lot. More Black Americans gained political power and representation. The Voting Rights Act was a major victory for the civil rights movement. It made voting a real right for Black Americans and helped break down many barriers rooted in racial injustice. Even today, it remains a key law that protects voting rights for all minorities.